are someone like my dad's age, who's like above 75, God, 65. Sorry, Dad. Not that he's gonna see this, but
okay.
Like
well, I'm willing to
age.
engage with that too. Why would it actually be a problem if somebody your age was with somebody your dad's age? Why would that actually be a problem?
That would be such an issue for me.
Change the split.
I wouldn't want to have a stepmom the same age as me. I'm good.
No, okay, I get that you find it icky. I'm asking though how it would actually be
Why can't
problematic.
you just marry someone your own age?
I can't. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Why can't you just marry someone your own age? I mean, again,
Because
unless
you
just
fell in
wanna
love with
still
somebody who
continue-
wasn't your own age. That's why.
But is it actually love or is it just attraction?
I mean, is that even a concern of yours?
Doesn't love require attraction?
Yeah. But I mean.
But
attraction
assuming
doesn't necessarily-
even that they were just boinking, they were just having sex, right? That's all that they were doing with each other. What would your objection to that even be?
Know about it. I'd prefer to just not know about it.
Yeah, I know you don't want to know about it, but what would the objection to it be?
Honestly, I think it would be worse off if he was just seeking attraction from her than like actual love. I feel like I'd be more supportive if they were actually in love and like had like actual love for each other that I could observe in like a way similar to like, kind of how like my mom and dad have love that I observe. Like there are things that you observe that make love evident in a relationship. I think seeing that would make me more supportive if they were actually, but the just boinking, that would bother me more.
Okay.
I got a couple questions.
Why?
Purely just because I think it's it's just icky. And I mean, like, I think that may just go back to me having like sexual assault trauma from my person who did that to me when I was.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to dive into the trauma, right?
No.
I just wanted to know if the answer was because it's icky.
I think just because I think it's icky, and I just don't think it's just harder. It's harder for me to view it as real and like genuine,
What, the relationship?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, unless there's, like, actual, like I was saying, like, how mom and dads clearly show that they love each other and, like, their children can observe it, and that's how you're supposed to know, like, what a healthy relationship should or shouldn't look like. You're supposed to role model that for your kids.
So I got to ask you then on this ick factor, because I think I can grant to you that, I don't know, let's say an age gap of 20 years or more, that's pretty icky, right?
It's weird.
It's pretty icky, right?
I think it also just depends on what age people are, because, like, if it was someone who was, like, 65 and someone who was, like, 20 or 19 or 18, I'd be like, yo, what are you doing with someone who is still a teenager?
Do you know what the group is?
Hang
on, real quick.
If you're of drinking age.
Are you aware of the group that has the largest age gap relationship is LGBTQ men? Does that hang on? Does that give you the ick?
It does, because
Does it?
It does, because I've talked to.
Private chat.
Huh?
Disregard. Go ahead.
Oh. I've talked to people who are gay, and they've, like, explained so many, like, it's mainly a fetish thing. I'm not going to go into, like, all the details.
Yeah, we don't have to go into details.
It's
a bit of a taboo subject, but I just wanted to make sure that you were consistent and that also gives you the ick.
Mainly for that, it's a fetish thing, which is why it's so hard for me to believe genuine attraction. I'm just like, are you sure you don't just have a fetish for younger women?
Yeah, no, I know, I get it. I just want to make sure you're consistent.
Yeah.
That group is 5%, which is astronomical compared to any other group, you do think that that's icky, right?
Yeah, and the same goes for cougars. Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
I got a couple questions here. First off, I want to show this meme. Nick, if you could pull it up. The myth of consensual sex. So 30-year-old, I consent. The 30-year-old woman, she doesn't consent to their consensual relationship. The 30-year-old woman has to consent for them to be together. So I thought that's an interesting meme. I do think it is like it's almost romantic warfare, because if women shame men for having this preference towards wanting to date younger women or finding younger women more attractive, it secures their ability to get a mate when they are older. But I do think it is this sort of shaming tactic. I wonder how you guys would react if, for example, large swaths of men said that women who were attracted to tall men, this is actually evidence of your incestuous fetishization of your fathers, because when you were young, your fathers were tall, you looked up at them. And for this precise reason, women's attraction towards tall men actually has no evolutionary basis, has nothing to do with tall men are more likely to protect you, et cetera, but actually that you have incestuous fantasies. And it's actually predatory.
And also to add on to this, if you're dating somebody of your own age or around your own age, you must be having incestuous fantasies of your own brothers, right?
But it's this whole tall thing. I mean, I think women, by and large, prefer to date tall men, or at least are attracted to tall men. You are incestuous and predatory for seeking out tall men to satisfy your perverse, incestuous fantasies. Doesn't that sound ridiculous?
I mean, yeah, when you say it like that in that instance, yeah. I mean, to me,
Date somebody your own height.
Who makes exactly the same amount of money that you do, works in the same occupational field that you do, drives the same type of car that you do, and has the same type of apartment that you have. Like, all of these different things, essentially no two people are equally yoked, is what Brian's getting at, right? And so this is going to be the case with age, it's going to be the case with looks. No two people, there's always going to be one partner who's more attractive than the other, right? There are some rare instances where they're about the same, but not mostly. Most of the time, one of them's at least a little bit better looking than the other one, right? So there's just no such thing as really truly being equally yoked that way, right? I think you can be equally yoked spiritually, but I'm not sure that you can materially.
Now, I do have a question going back to you, Macy. You seem to...
McKenna Keith donated $200. I believe couples stay together longer if the girl is 8+ years younger than the man. My husband's 8 years older than myself, and I wouldn't even mind a little bigger age gap.
Okay.
Actually, interestingly enough, one of the largest objections to age gap relationships is that 95% of them fail. Turns out that this stat is unequivocally false. That the UK did a massive study on this, where they went through the Department of Statistics, and they took every marriage which had ever occurred in the UK, and they found no statistical deviation whatsoever between those in a age gap relationship and those not when it came to separation and divorce.
Interesting. Going to Macy, so you had a pretty strong reaction to even when I said if there were like 19, 20, 21-year-old women sliding into my DMs, I'm 35. You have strong feelings on the age gap stuff. You're 21, correct?
Yes, I am.
When did you start your own?
I was 19.
Well, I guess, like, I mean, do you think it's less weird for a 19-year-old to have hands than for a 19-year-old to date a 31-year-old?
I mean, you are correct on we're both consenting adults, but like from a personal perspective, I think it's just weird. But that's just me personally. But
Well, what about doing the thing at such an age where, I mean, men even much older than 31 could very well be consuming your content. I don't know if you have analytics on who your OnlyFans subscribers are. Perhaps you can share.
I think it ranges from 25-year-olds to 50-year-olds.
But so then why is it okay, for example, for a 19-year-old woman to be distributing photos to these men, but she can't have like a loving monogamous relationship with an older man.
I mean, you totally can have one.
Right, but it gives you the ick.
For me, it's just like a personal thing. Like I don't understand why.
Why what? A young woman would date an older man? Or the reverse?
It sounds, well, I think I understand where you're coming from. Let me see if I can make sure I can make sense of it. You're saying the reason it gives you the ick is because you think it's a fetishization of older men with younger women, right? Wouldn't you say that a woman who's anomalously is an anomaly and is like 6'10", that most of the people who subscribe to her OnlyFans are going to be doing it out of a fetish?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that doesn't give you the ick?
It does, but I'm getting paid for it, so I don't even care.
Oh, so in this particular case, if the younger woman is with this man based on resources, isn't that like she's getting paid for it?
Yeah, and I support that.
Yeah, I support that, right?
Wait, I have a follow-up question on this. No, would you have any issue with a woman who is prostituting herself to a man, like actual prostitution? So for money, with she's 19, he's 35. She's getting money, right?
Yeah, that is where you kind of cross a line,
Well, it's sex work, right?
but it's illegal.
Well, assuming it's legal. Let's say this is in Nevada, where it is legal in some places. She lives in Nevada. She's not a prostitute, though.
Confirming that it is correct, and I'm not a prostitute.
It's only some. It's only some places. Let's say it's illegal in Germany, right? You're from Germany. I believe in Germany, is legal, right? Red light districts, etc. Assuming it's illegal, any objections, or illegal? Excuse me.
I guess not. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
If you're above 18, you're technically an adult, so
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want. But it's just a personal thing.
But isn't it basically what he?
Yes, but let us remember, though, that money cancels ick, right? Money cancels ick.
Money cancels
so
ick.
The formula is, so the formula here is ick unless money, X amount of money, no more ick. Is that correct?
That's facts.
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from.
It's like the money to ick ratio. I don't know exactly what it is. It like $10,000 per disgust point? Like, I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe there is no delineation point, but it does seem that X amount of money cancels X amount of ick.